The Beef and Barnzy Show, brought to you by bowlersmart.com, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. By Lightning Strikes Bowl, home of Bowlers Mart Pro Shop. By Platinum Ford, drive the difference. By Fire Lake Bowling Center, 24 state-of-the-art lanes. By True Grit Coatings, drive on our passion. By Road to Grip, king of them all. By 900 Global, striking worldwide.
What's going on, friends? Welcome back to the Beef and Barnzy Show. If anybody knows where Chris is, tell him to dial into the show. I don't know what's going on, but I was hoping he was going to be here this morning, but I guess we got our wires crossed. So, big weekend of bowling. It felt like there was a tournament everywhere this weekend. Let me know if you bowled, where you bowled at, and yeah, we'll have a chat about it. I bowled a SASPA, which is the Senior Bowlers Club down here in Texas, and we actually had a fairly successful weekend. Ended up finishing second, so that was pretty good fun. We bowled in a house. Nope, missing in action. No, don't know where he is. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, we bowled over at Cowtown, which is in Fort Worth. It's a split house with the 16 lanes each side, and the two sides tend to play quite different. New for this weekend, it seemed like every lane played quite different. Hey, welcome from Malaysia. Thanks for joining us. So I after a few games of trying to hook it, I decided to throw bullets, and got away with a couple of good games late on using the infinite physics and a UFO alert. So fast forward that night, I headed over to the kickoff tournament, which is a huge team tournament run by Dino and Alan Riley and their team. There was I think they had about 90 teams bowl across two squads. In the squad I bowled, the night squad, that was pretty much 50 teams, I believe. Lots of action. I mean, lots. What's going on, bro? You still in? I thought you were moving from Vegas, Johnny. Morning. Hey, Tony, nice bowling, by the way. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Which side had the new pins? Anyway, the team tournament, huge bracket tournament. They actually ran, I think, 600 and some brackets for the scratch bowlers. They had 210 and under brackets. Yeah, they had everything going on. Senior brackets, lady brackets. Yeah, it was madness, to be honest. If they had printed every single bracket rather than just the alive list, they'd have been able to paper the bowling center. There you go, Alan. Nice job this weekend. Just because people like hearing about this sort of stuff, I was only in 200 brackets, so $1,000. I managed to shoot 260, 240, 240, and I turned that into $2,700. So that was a nice trip in the evening. But yeah, events everywhere, like I said. I don't know, Nico. That's a good question. He's not answering his phone, so I don't know what's going on. If I'd have realized I'd have been flying solo, I would have probably brought in a guest, because every person in the world seemed to be bowling a different event this weekend. Exactly. Talk to me like bowlers do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe I should be worried with the 80,000. Is it 87,000? There you go. There's a guy with the OG. Yeah, the 87,000 new IRS agents. Yeah, Nico talking about the one time when Chris called Kyle Troop during the show, and he's like, "My bad, bro." There you go. Alan says in total there was 2,000 brackets run over the weekend. It's going to be a lot of things. I'm not sure fun is one of them. Iron Man's not meant to be fun. Yeah. We'll get onto that in a minute. So in the West region, I guess it was Northwest actually. Up at Houston's place, Darren Tang came out on top, winning that event, and then there was another event in Ohio, which I guess is Central Region. Yeah, probably Central Region. Mikey Schleibach won that one. New Mexico Open was won by Cortez Schenk. The Sasper, Dimitri Cruz and his group won that one. The I don't know. Alan can maybe tell us who won the team tournament, but the doubles portion that was on Sunday was won by Dio and Rick Bernard, and of course Tim Foy came away with the super regional victory up in Ohio. Up in Virginia. Second place was Eric Jones. So that was that. And then, oh God, I haven't even finished yet. Then there was the Bud Light that was on this weekend. Cooley won both the side events, and I don't remember the name of the guy who won the main event, but I wasn't really paying that much attention to that one. And then, of course, last night, oh man, this is getting exhausted now. The PBA 60 finished, and Amleto took the victory. I haven't really watched that, but apparently the 10 frame was a bit of a bit different. Well, there you go. 4 Purple Hammers in the show. Morning, Sandy. How are you doing? Good morning to Haggart. So that was that pretty much summed up the weekend's bowling. Like I said, hello, Chris. You're talking live to our fans. But no, sorry, I texted you earlier twice. My bad. If you'd have responded, I'd realize that you weren't ready for that. So anyway, I'll see you on the show in a few minutes. All right, bye. So Chris is Chris is forgetting that I don't have a 10:15 appointment anymore. So I guess I might take some of the blame for this one, maybe, but nah, let's blame Chris anyway. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Somebody tell me what happened in the PBA 60. Morning, Ed. Oh yeah, shit, I forgot about this. Non-champs regional in Houston. See what I mean? Like, how many events were there? Jesus Christ. TJ Rock won that, so congratulations to him. Mo Money. Jackie Fisher, Devontae Deontay Rone, Carrie Witches, and Mike Workman. So congratulations to them. Sorry I butchered half the names. But congratulations. Yeah, I get. See, Nico, you're on the program. You understand what's going on. He used to be mine too. Oh, good morning, Adam. Good morning, Bob. How we doing? Yeah, Bowling Longview. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to locate the where would it be? Just trying to locate the patterns for this weekend. Here we go. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Share screen.
Brad, yes, from Bowling Longview doubles. I'm bowling with Ryan.
So that's the short pattern for this weekend. Yes, It's absolutely miserable. We'll see how that plays. I don't know that they particularly bang off the gutter in Rowlett, so could be interesting.
Some pairs, some not. Yeah, I don't know. Rowlett.
Last year they did 35 foot flat, which really isn't really supposed to come off the friction that much. But yeah, anyway, so that's the first one. And then the second one is called Crop Duster. It is 45 feet. The reverse is 45 feet. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a shit show. This oil pattern has 2-2 loads being placed towards the end of the pattern. The back of the pattern will play very flat with a substantial amount of oil on the outsides, allowing no room for error. Sporadic machine speed changes during the application of oil can create unpredictable ball motion. Yes! And 6 on a pair. Let's go.
All right. Yes, we were up in Wichita. Ryan won Player of the Year in Wichita 2 years after averaging 195 as his book average. He will no longer be getting pins anywhere, I don't believe. I believe that was exactly 30 years after the last time I made it. But yes, there was a couple other questions about Ironman, and no, there's not a truck on the line. I believe the insurance company, Stu said, backed out at the last minute. So, but Platinum Ford, true to form, is just going to spend the money they were going to spend on insurance and pay it out in cash. So, yeah.
Tina says more great lane pattern. See, she's in a house of skeptics. Names.
Don Nolan, all the way from St. Thomas, saying hi.
See, honestly, we should employ Nico as our scheduler. Nico knew. He said, "How did Ryan's move back to WSU go?" His first question was, "Did Chris not realize your son goes to school now and you don't, and you're in all morning?"
Yes, as of last Tuesday, I did realize it, and I forgot already. I was on 10:15 every Tuesday,
which is kind of reasonable. I guess we could have kept it that way. We do have a guy coming round, so I have to break my internet so AT&T can fix it. Basically, I have an issue with the power supply in the garage, which is almost taped together now to keep it running. And AT&T keep calling me and saying, "Your internet service is working. You don't need the technical appointment." I'm like, "Oh, I do." Because it could break at any moment.
Yeah.
So, my man, Chris Skillins, thank you again for your support. Fire Lake Bowling Center, the only place I want to bowl in Oklahoma.
Sorry, Kevin, Denny.
Yeah. The only reason why I say that is because that's the one center I don't get completely torched over by a lefty. Because the other places we've been haven't worked out so good. Granted, I've only been to 2 other places, but it's not looking good, Oklahoma. It's a big state, and I'm tarring you with the same brush.
Yeah, maybe a touch unfair, but until proven differently.
Yeah. Until Eric Jones stops winning every event. This is last year. I had actually completely forgot about this. Tina was bowling tournaments on Labor Day, on the Sunday, I think it was actually. And I got to Longview, which isn't particularly close to my house. And I opened the back of the truck and I went, fuck. Because I had all of Tina's balls in the back of the truck as well as mine. Yeah, okay, Kevin, I'm sorry. But like I say, I mean, which is the one? Is it Planet, the one that we usually bowl the regional at?
Yeah, we have that. A couple of the doubles things. Planet doubles.
Yeah, so Planet hasn't. I have won there once with Pete Thomas, but the two times I've been for the regional hasn't worked out too well. And then on top of that, the other place that's there is Fort Sill.
And right on cue, Andy Patterson. You tell me your favorite bowling center isn't Twin Oaks and Fort Sill? No.
Here we go. I see you, Cole. I see the game you're playing here. I do. I see it. I guess I'll say thank you, even though you beat me by 21, and you kind of want me to tell the people that you beat me by 21. I see you. Cole absolutely crushed him. He bowled 783 in the kickoff. We were down at the low end at Garland, which I didn't think was particularly a great draw because I bowled the tournament there, and that had pretty much been the graveyard when we'd bowled the last couple of years in that
PBA playoffs.
In the PBA playoffs
or Players Championship. Sorry.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: doesn't make a difference on the house china. They're still pretty easy down there too. So yeah, Cole bowled basically. You went. So we went 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 13 and 14, and Cole basically went the opposite direction, somewhere around the same lanes. So yeah, we had a pretty nice run down that end. Alan Riley said he then bowled 15-15 in the doubles as well. So yeah. How come you picked bowling Saspa over New Mexico this weekend? Well, here's the deal. The New Mexico Open is 12 hours away. So that's the first one. The second part of it is I hate the format of the New Mexico Open. And there's only so many times I can go before I need a break. And right now it seems to be about one time before I need to take a break. Because last year I was the top seed, like I was a couple of years previous. And some of it was self-inflicted and some of it wasn't. But when you play a 2-game match on a pattern that's really difficult on one random pair, it's just kind of a shitty way to end a good tournament. And now the losers bracket's even worse because it's a 1-game match when you go in the losers bracket. And I just don't want to be 12 hours away for a format that, in my opinion, is fucking terrible. So I appreciate them running it, and I appreciate that a lot of the time people don't run formats to please the good bowlers. But they also have to appreciate that if they don't run a format I don't like, if they run a format I don't like, I've also got every right to tell them I'm not going to come. And that's kind of the choice I made. So, like, I understand they think that if they run a round robin, that a lot of the local guys aren't going to play because they don't have a chance. I get it. But you make the lanes impossible and weird shit happens in a 2-game match. I wasn't really that bothered about it, so I didn't go. I don't think they missed my entry. I didn't really miss them either.
Nico's on you. He says, no, he's talking about Tulsa. You had a little bit of success in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I kind of forget that the lanes at Coffee Creek are in.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I need some bowler great at Tulsa next year.
Yeah, GTO. There you go, baby.
People, hit me up.
I think PBA is going back to Fire Lake. I sure hope so. But the guy to ask is here. Cole says, listen, all I know is I wasn't as confident as the guy that shot 300 and knew it in frame 5.
Yeah, this was literally one of the GOAT maneuvers I've ever seen. So, you know, they run the last game Johnny. Dino's last game Johnny is the last game high game part. It's $20 to get in. I'm bowling, and I've actually got video on my phone of the guy. I got the 10th and 11th, but I haven't transferred it over, so it's too. But anyway, this guy is going literally nuts in the 5th frame when he's got the front 5, and I'm like, this guy's going to burst a blood vessel. And he's like, literally every shot, he's like whooping it up. And I'm like, holy shit. This is like, and I'm like, at this point, I had the front 5 and then a 5.7. I was throwing the heaters. So I did spare it off the wall, just for reference. I hit it right in front, hit the wall, and hit the 7. But anyway, this guy's going crazy. And I'm just laughing with the guys around me. I'm like, this guy, if he gets this, is going to go more nuts than if I hit the Mega Millions, because he's going like crazy. Anyway, he shoots 300 and it's great. Like, and I go up to him because I'm an asshole and I can't help myself. I go up to him and I go, "Hey, you're the guy at the front 6 who Dina said, man, I can't believe that guy didn't get in the last game, Johnny." And he goes, "I did. I gave him $20." And he had a few more expletives in there. And I was like, my bad, bro. I was just playing with you. Dino didn't say that. So anyway, they announce that the last game Johnny is 269, which is like the lowest score it's ever been. And I'm like, this guy shot 300. Oh, no, he was in the 210 and under.
Oh.
He'd whether the stories that were going around like wildfire was that he'd actually never had more than the front 6 in his life.
No kidding.
He's like a 192 average or something.
Wow.
So anyway, this guy,
running
$1,200.
Boom.
So that was a pretty cool story. He was on the pair next to us, down at the low end. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that's the line between formats and entries is always a tricky one. And every promoter has it. They have the right to do what they want to do, what's right for their tournament, and it's just where what you can do to encourage as many people to bowl to get as many entries as you can. So, and
they did really well to get as many entries as they did this year. With how busy the calendar was this year, it was ridiculous.
Yes.
We were going through all the tournaments that were on this weekend. This might have been the busiest bowling weekend I've ever seen.
There was a lot of things going on.
Yeah, I mean, I started naming everything, and I forgot 2 or 3 things.
Yeah, and as I thought about it, as we were saying it out loud, since we've gone to one format, it makes it pretty tough with Fire Like Me in a 24 lane, or one squad. I'm sorry, one squad tournaments. It makes it pretty tough for the 24 laner right now.
You hear that, Chris? You got a pretty big parking lot. Let's have an extension.
Yeah, should make that thing 40. Just knock it out.
Just stop messing around. Yeah. So where were we?
Cody Norton was the guy. His first 300 ever.
It's fantastic. Loved it. Loved every minute of it. His friends also loved every minute of me giving him a hard time about him not being in it.
So mean.
I know, but I just can't help it. I love it. So
it makes sense if he bowls at Longview, why he doesn't have a 300 before. Hi, Trey. How you doing?
We're talking to you, Trey. Yeah. See, one tournament outside of Longview, 300.
Yeah.
He didn't even bowl in one of the easy centers in Dallas. Oh, shout out to Dalton. Dalton Autry. He was on the team that finished 3rd, I think.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And moments like that, yeah. Well, and here we go. Snowman coming soon.
Am I being forced to do the Calcutta again, Chris? I'm still laughing at the guy glaring at me. Sorry, what was your name? White, as in Skillings and White. When I thought that he was bidding Chris up and I was laughing about it and encouraging him to bid again. My bad. Well, how was I supposed to know? Chris tricked me. They both bid at the start. They actually bid each other up.
Oh, yeah, David White. Yeah. Yeah, David White, who once bowled Tammy Turner at that point to in a tournament in Ada, Oklahoma, in the final.
It was just great the way he said it, though. I said, sorry, what was your name? White, as in Skillins and White. My bad, bro. And then Jessica goes to me, she goes, oh, I didn't realize you didn't know that was Chris's partner. You think?
All right, here's a good question. So, you dislike the format for New Mexico Open. What would be your preferred format? Or do you dislike all bracket formats?
The problem is we bowl 8 games to qualify, and then it's just 32 people playing in the bracket. So realistically, it doesn't matter how I bowl on the qualifying within reason. So that's part of the issue. Like if they could find a way in which we only did that bracket format for the top 16 maybe, or the top 8, then okay. Now, I thought I enjoyed the format the way it was before, but I understand. Now, I've never heard a guy who is a marginal entry ever say out loud they're not entering because of the finals format. I've never heard that. I don't know about you, Chris, but there hasn't been many people I've ever heard say, I'm not entering that tournament because I don't like the finals format. Like, who were maybe entering or maybe not based on ability. Like, they don't usually ever talk about the finals. They might talk about how many people get paid. But, yeah. So, for me, if you're going to do the bracket format, like, I think it's got to be at least a 3-game total. And they don't have enough time because they can't finish that in one day.
And is that why the last time I was there, there were still 2-game losers bracket.
Yeah, now it's only 1 game in the losers bracket. Like every time they're just trying to bring it down. And I also don't like playing 2 matches on the same pair.
Right.
It's not a match if there's another match going on the pair, as far as I'm concerned.
Would it help with top seeds get a bye in the bracket?
Yeah, maybe. But the other thing as well is to me, it would actually be better if they didn't make the pattern quite as brutal if they were going to do the 32. Because it just, when they make the lanes really difficult, the skill is going lane to lane. Because there's always going to be pairs that are just awful. And then on top of it, this year, the left had such a huge advantage. It was a joke. Like, the amount of lefties who made it, like, basically every one of them who was breathing made it. So, I mean, just, you know, whatever. I want them to be successful because they got a really bad deal with the whole thing with the state of New Mexico making them stay shut for as long as they did. It was bullshit. So I want it to be successful. I'm talking about my personal opinion about why I struggle to want to bowl it. That doesn't mean that affects other people. If I live closer, like if I still lived in Arizona, it'd be a no-brainer.
Yeah, of course.
Like, but I live in Texas, and there was 2 other things I could bowl this weekend. Like, and I wasn't bowling that well. So why would I want to drive 12 hours to bowl something when I wasn't bowling that well? It didn't make any sense. So, yeah, Brian.
Yeah, 1 in 3 format. That's one of the things that's always interesting about the regionals, that people skip regionals when they pay 1 for 3 and then go below everything else at 1 for 10. And with, by and large, lots of times the same people in tournaments.
The only difference with that is the regionals tend to be more expensive.
True. So
people don't like that. They don't like that deal. So did you also see this last night? You probably didn't, because I don't know that you follow a lot of the people who are involved. but the Houston NDO sweeper, they've had this 5-game clean pot going on for about 3 years. Well, it was at 9,700 last night, and Austin Waldrop hit it.
No
So
kidding.
he won like 98.50 or something. It was
Good for
crazy.
him. Wow.
So they had that, and they had the 50 clean pot, and the strike pot had been like insanely high in that thing. So that was kind of cool. Congratulations to Austin. Nice job. So, oh God, remind me.
Here to Cole Schreier, by the way. He did have a great weekend, and now he's going to have to take a little bit more time off again. Had another scan. Let's go back in and have some tumors removed. So I'm going to take some time and put them in your thoughts.
That sucks. So one of Ryan's teammates won in Houston this weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
TJ Rock.
Rock.
They were bowling on Scorpion. The lanes were tight, so of course everybody used the purple hammer.
Yeah, he was jamming it up 8, and he's good at that.
We did talk about it, but shout out to Tim Foy, super good guy, coming away with the win up in Virginia.
Yeah, he beat
Eric Jones.
Oh wow! Another
Eric Jones is turning into Jacob. He's playing everything.
Yeah, well, and at that age, what you're supposed to do.
No, I know it. Like I say, it's cool. He seems to pop up here, there, and everywhere. So,
and if you're hearing his name, he's not just paying entries.
No, exactly. So
and then last night, PBA 560.
Yeah, did you?
Season.
Something happened in the 10th frame. There was a crazy finish.
A train wreck. This was. So Johnson has a double going to the 10th. He's on 2-0.
John Chapman.
John Chapman, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just combine the names however I want.
Yeah. Johnman.
Yeah, Johnman. Yeah, sure. And Leto can strike out. He's got a spare up in the 9th. He can shoot 226. That's his max score. And Leto has a strike up in the 8th. His max score is 231. First shot he throws in the 9th. It never gets right of the head pin. And he goes Brooklyn. And he kind of runs it out. And he knows it's not getting to the right side of the head pin. And gives it the old, as it's hitting the pins, Brooklyn. And he strikes. And you're like, well, that's the only chance he had. He had to strike out. The other guy's got control of the pocket. So he goes up on the left lane, and he doubles down. He made that first shot on the right lane look like an ace.
And this is Chapman.
No, this is a Meadow in the 10th frame.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Double to shut him out. First one, misses the head pin left. I mean, the first one I watched, I went, oh, my God. I've never seen him let his shoulders shut down that quick. Oh, contraire.
1 second. You just on the wrong team, Matt. You just need to get on Amleto's team.
Nothing wrong with it until you miss 3 left of there on the next one. And so he leaves the 1, 3, 6. I can't remember if he left the 9 with it or not. Makes it. Finally throws a strike. So the guy he needs a mark in the 10th. Promptly. Big 4s in the 10th. 6-2 to lose. And Leto wins on the bench, throwing the 2 worst shots, maybe of his entire 45-year PBA career in the 9th and 10th. And that's the one he wins. It's crazy how that stuff goes sometimes. He did everything he could to not win that thing and still won anyway.
Yeah, but it won't stop as a bowler. This isn't an Amleto thing. This is just a bowler thing. It won't stop him bitching the next time he ring 10s to lose.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, that's – yeah. And that's not an Amleto thing. That's like an every bowler thing. So, yeah. Someone Adam was saying something last night about you losing to a guy who was minus 800.
I think Vinci might have beat me one game last year. But I think he beat me with 50 handicap. I don't think he actually beat me. No, I'm right there with you, Alan. I've never had a break in my life. We did get a few good breaks this weekend. The scores at the Sasper. Oh, yeah. There's always one asshole. I see you, Kozak. Go fuck yourself. Manchester United beat Liverpool yesterday. It's not good. It's like Oklahoma beating Texas. It fucking sucks. So, yeah. Not happy. Not happy about the Liverpool game. But back to bowling. So, how many balls are you taking this weekend, Chris, for this shit show? These two patterns of doom.
Oh boy. Well, I'll probably bring 9 or 10, but there won't be much need for a lot more.
See,
There'll be some urethanes.
Talent, that's called.
Maybe just lack of hope.
I might bring 9 or 10 just for the short pattern.
This is probably closer. All of them. I'm just bringing all of them.
Shit. I've never gone on the SAS. Oh, here it is. Live. Is that the one I need? No. Okay, so I need to bring this up just because it's funny. So this weekend we bowled the Sasper, and it has the points format, which of course you always get frustrated by because it's like the most frustrating thing in the world, except this year because we were that team. Check that out. 417 pins behind the first place team, and we were in second. We were points machines, Chris. Points machines.
Just win, baby. That's all.
Just win. Exactly. I think I counted. I think we had the 9th or 10th highest pinfall.
Wow.
Now, I don't know whether we dragged everybody else down, but it did feel like we got some pairs that were horrific. Some highlights, just to go through it. After 3 games, the scores were fairly high most of the places. The highest right-handed score on our pair for any of the 3 games was me with a 224 one game. So that wasn't particularly great. And then the last game of the day, we won with 790. That's okay, whatever. I bowled 269.
Nice.
And we won with 790. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I did not see the PVA Junior Gold Tournament. But there are several players right now that seem to be on their way. So,
yeah, he is bringing all of them. He only owns 9. It's what happens when you're either cheap or talented. He's both.
Okay, curious of your guys' opinion to start. We should read these. Shouldn't the advertisement for the shows feature the bowlers who are actually on the show? Last week they had Sims, Sterner, and Troop on the advertisement, but none of them made the show. I think lots of time those banners are just stock banners that are made up well ahead of time.
Yeah.
I would probably guess that they were the 3 guys that made the stepladder last year. Lots of times that's how that happens. Yeah, in an ideal world with a staff that was big enough to make up, you're gonna have a hard time finding a Eric Jones action shot. For that matter, it would have been a little tricky to find a Tim Foy one. But yeah, lots of times it's just made up so far ahead of time.
It's annoying when he's got good points, isn't it, Matt?
It doesn't happen often, so I'm going to take that as a dub, and we'll move on to things I really know much less about.
Here we go. Fucking mowing along.
Mogul Duke on the PVA 50.
Careful, Matt. Careful. You want to get reselected. There was talk of you replacing Bill O'Neill on that squad, so careful. Oh, man.
But yes, I think in general our marketing could be better. They're obviously very top heavy with how they market and trying to get 7, 8, 10 guys as much popularity as possible.
It's also a bit of a nightmare because you've got to sort of like play the ball company game as well.
Yeah, one from each company, that kind
of
stuff.
Try to at least. So
yeah, I mean,
yeah, Sean.
Yeah, Adam, I know everybody has a fan. Ogle, now you know yours.
Oh dear.
Well,
yeah. Oh, let's take this minute to give a shout out to some of our sponsors. Platinum Ford, obviously we've been talking about it, but they are going to be heavily shown this weekend. They're huge supporters of the Texas Ironman event, so thanks to them. Our boys over at Lightning Strikes, Mr. Robert Eddy. Tournaments almost every weekend. If you're in that Fort Myers, Tampa area, check it out. He has tournaments that pretty much cover every ability. So thanks again to him. You are truly a bowler's dream as a proprietor. Same with Chris Skillins. Thank you. You put out my favorite oil pattern of the whole year. I don't understand why you make the lanes so fair with a spray bottle, yet they use a $60,000 machine and they can constantly fuck it up. That's from my selfish point of view. I'm only bowled when you've done them twice, and I've come second and first.
Yeah, so they're obviously fair.
It has nothing to do with my partner.
Yeah, I mean, without blowing too much smoke up Skillings, the Southwest region, the reason why it's one of the best paying regions and best, I would say, probably one of the best regions in the country from a sponsor provider standpoint is all the stuff that he's done to make the Southwest, a lot more like it was in its heyday, and where you have a region points final at the end of the year, you have a lot of things that build up to it, and a lot of great tournaments there.
Yeah, Alan, I was chopping brackets with a guy who was 40 lanes away. What was I supposed to do?
Stu's a score watcher. Wonder if you could carry over to a team tournament. Sure enough, I saw Stu in no less than 84 different places in center during a 3-game.
That's because I had to walk past 83 of them to get to the spot I wanted to get to.
Who with?
Marshall Morrison.
Oh, okay.
If it was feeling like it was going to be like make this bitch rain when we shot 568 between us the first game. Then I realized that as we were 50 lanes away, we didn't enter the cross doubles together. Good decision.
Oops.
Solid decision.
Oops.
The cross doubles actually. The problem is cross doubles is a friggin' nightmare because it either costs you a shit ton or nobody gets in. And it was kind of like there wasn't that many people who got in. I think it was just because it was so far, like the center.
Don't like money. Cole says, don't worry. You only played at 40, so you didn't have that much to worry about.
Yeah, that's true. It was kind of great. The last game I shot 240 and I thought that might not have been that good. And then every big bracket player shot like one less than me or 10 less than me. So it worked out. I was quite worried when Joel Ricketts bowled 259. Then I realized that for somehow, some way, he was 210 and under.
Oh, wow.
So then I didn't need to worry about him.
The South needs a hand oil tournament. For the love of God, lock the purple out on the left just once. Pretty please.
Cavalish, I believe there's something about this isn't a first come, first serve.
Wow.
And there goes Stu, fucking the right-handers for this weekend. No, hey, Steve, let's set it up. It seemed like a really good time to use that line because I see it all the time. Well,
so
if you will,
in our tournaments.
If you will have all of them over at Louisville, he's probably going to struggle.
Yeah, Blanchard. Well, I was there when Joel subbed the first night in Louisville. We went, it's not quite the same as the California house shots around here.
Would he bowl 5.5?
Oh, he would have had to have a major rally to get to that.
Oh, and I discovered that AJ Rice hates me so much that he was willing to fuck up 150 brackets just so I couldn't cash in the team event.
Yeah?
Yeah, he bowled 166 the first game.
Oof.
I was like, AJ, just tell me you hate me. I'd have found somebody else.
The 11th frame tournament pattern locked the lefties out this past weekend.
Tina's mom has a real great phrase for that. Say it with me, Chris. Oh, well. So, first night of league last night, Chris.
Yeah.
Came out hot, front nine. The reality check was striking.
The reality strike.
The reality strike, yeah. I had 775 finishing spare. Oof. So, still had 800 going into the 10th. Sorry, in the 9th. Messenger in front of the 10, followed by a blow of 7. You lose pins real fast. 770 doesn't sound close to 800. Being able to shoot 805 going into the 9th frame seems close. I think it's been a minute since that was true. It's my show, goddammit.
It's been a minute. He had a profitable weekend. He's going to go ahead and ruffle it.
Well, it wasn't that profitable. I bowled brackets at Sasper, and Dimitri bowled like about 5 279s over the weekend. So that wasn't. Problem with Sasper is it feels like you don't enter very much, and then they say you owe $400. You're like, what for? Like what? So yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It was better than not. It was better than staying home. So that was a good thing. So.
Dimitri's bombing all that stuff. Gonna need to just got to turn it over to the tour a little bit. Kind of break through out there.
Yeah, like I say, he ate my lunch 3 games running. Because it's that match play Swiss format. Is that the Swiss format? Is that what they call it? Like
yeah,
the
one where you.
So yeah, like I say, he ate my lunch 3 games running. Okay, guys. Well, we will be back on Thursday at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
It's been 10 on Thursday.
Yeah, don't listen to the first 5 minutes of the show, Chris. I actually wasn't that bad. I was just like, if anybody knows where Chris is, can you get him to give me a call? Nico, now I realize the error of my ways. I feel like I at least should take some of the blame for this.
No.
I
Because actually, it wasn't the first time, because we did last Tuesday. We also did 10 a.m. and I asked the same question. So, yeah, I just pretty much completely ignored that part. And yeah,
it's okay. It's a good job I'm good at talking, eh?
well, there's a rumor. There's a rumor. So, stuff coming up this weekend. Yeah, you don't want to see my tidy whities, but no, I had been up for a little while. I just jumped in the shower real quick to get halfway presentable. So, no, it's still wet.
Okay, Cole. Well, I wasn't aware of this till Chris said it. So good luck. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll be rooting for you.
She did. And I went, yeah, 10:15.
I almost text you, Linda, but then I thought that you answered your phone even less than Chris. Oh God. Yeah. Well, the lanes at Coffee Creek could definitely be on the agenda.
Yeah.
Linda, truth. Okay, sorry.
Right.
One last fun story to take us out with. So I bowled next to CK Moore this weekend a bunch. And when I was a kid, his show when he was the rookie and he ran the ladder, and he shot 300, was shown on TV in Europe. So he might have been the first person that we ever saw shoot 300 like on TV. So anyway, I heard this story that the next day he was trying to get a plane, and he lost his wallet, or he didn't have his wallet, and he used the sports page to get on the plane. Like literally held up the newspaper and was like, "See, I'm CK Moore," and they let him on. Well, this was one of those stories where you don't really want to ask, because you don't really want that to be proved to be false, because it's such a great story.
Yeah.
So, and I also didn't know that he shot 300 at Highland. I didn't know that's where it was till I saw the show the other day. Like I was watching it last night or whatever. I was like, holy shit, it was at Highland. And it's like, you know, I'd seen that show, but of course I didn't know where Highland Lanes was. I never even, and that had gone out of my memory. So anyway, whatever. So I asked him and he goes, oh no, that's 100% true. He goes, I had to do all these radio interviews for all these places. And my guys who I was traveling with, they had to drive because they were going to the next stop. And they literally took all of my stuff. He goes, they took my wallet. They took my street shoes. They took everything. He goes, I went back to the hotel that night barefoot. And he goes, and I honestly didn't know how I was going to get out. And he goes, well, anyway, I turned up to the airport and I said, look, I was bowling on TV last night and this is me. And he held up the sports page. And the woman who was checking him in said, yeah, I watched it. That's really you. That's so cool. Yeah, no problem. Here you go. And that's how he got on the plane with the sports page.
It was a different world back then.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But how cool is that? I got on the plane with the sports page.
There's a story back in college of one of Fleming's teammates having a plane ticket that they couldn't use, but it was somewhere where Paul wanted to go. The teammate was one of the females. He dressed up like a female, showed them her ID, and got on the plane.
The only problem is if it works going there but doesn't work coming back, then you're a bit fucked. But the thing is this is a sad question to ask, but what makes that CK Moore story less unlikely now? Security or bowling actually being in the national paper?
Or a paper. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's
equally. Yeah.
because I think it was like USA Today or something that he had. It was like a big deal.
It was a huge deal.
But there he was. Sure, on you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's you. We're good. Yeah.
So yeah. So that was CK Moore. Like it's a real small world, the bowling world. And like if you'd have told me then that I'd have been bowling right next to him, in just like a local tournament, like, you know, it was like what would it have been, like 27 years ago, I think it was. I think it was 1996. So
yeah.
Wild. So
crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So, very cool to see he's back out and playing with us again. And this weekend, like I say, the Ironman's going on. Got some other stuff coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah, Team USA are bowling in and the Canadians and a bunch of other people in the Tournament of the Champions Pan American Zones down in Brazil.
Yep.
So
very
if
cool.
you actually
with all the competitors there.
What's Kendra's last name? Cameron Curry?
Curry.
Right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, if you find her on Facebook, she's going live, so you can actually watch some of the Team USA bowling. So yeah.
So, all right. Well, once again, we'll see you on Thursday at 10.
10.
10.
Hey Dino, what lane? 8.
And in between now and then, and if you would like a new Helios, go out to Platinum Ford, test drive a car, show them your USB-C card, and get you a brand new Platinum Ford Helios bowling ball. And in between now and then, please support the sponsors that support us: Storm, Rotogrip, Niner Global, Coolwick, Bowlers Mart, Pinnacle GPS, Fire Lake Bowling Center, Lightning Strikes, and Platinum Ford. Till Thursday, stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.
See you later.